want to say welcome back to another conversation with me. I hope you guys have been enjoying this so far because it is something that, again, I've said multiple times, is really true and dear to my heart. Like, I'm really excited for these next coming up conversations and moments. I do want to take a moment to address like the little pause I have, because I know I said I want to be consistent, and anybody that's watching me and maybe trying to be on this consistent journey with me, I had to take a step back for just a couple seconds to reposition my business, my brand, and who I want to show up as, and kind of double down on that. So I know exactly how I want to represent myself. I know how I want to talk about things. I've gained a little more confidence along the way, and I definitely know that you guys are going to be seeing a difference in this, the way I talk and my consistency and all of that. So now that we got that out the way, I want to, again, we're going to start these videos off with just some affirmations, things that I'm feeling right now. Like, it may have something to do with the topic of the YouTube video, or it might just be something that I'm feeling on my chest. Like, I feel like it's something that I want to go ahead and just double down on and affirm with you. So today, I am powerful. I am determined to make my goals a reality. I am who God says I am, and I will have what God says I will have. Amen. So let's go ahead and just jump into this conversation. Today's conversation is letting go of fear and being grateful for your moments that you're in. The title on the video might be a little bit different because I'm still playing around with it. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I can sum all of this into a one sentence title. But it's really about letting go of your worries and your fears and any anxiety you may have, and letting it go, giving it to God, and really just focusing on being grateful for where you are at currently, and having faith that you are on the right path and everything that you are seeking out is going to come to fruition. So I had this moment to have this conversation when a few days ago, maybe even a few weeks ago, I can't really remember the exact day, but I wrote it down because I did not want to forget it because it was just so beautiful. But let me just go ahead and get into the story. But first, I just want to thank God for being so patient with me, because I really know that He puts things in place for me to be grateful for, and everything that I pray for, I really get. And I just want to acknowledge that because God is so good. But for anybody that knows me, I know that I absolutely love personal growth. Like, I seek it out. Anytime that I can find a way to get better, grow, really mentally and emotionally. Like, when I can really dive deep into why I'm feeling a certain way or where this certain perspective came from, I love that. I love to grow. And so this moment was a really good perspective shift, if you will, on being grateful and realizing that I'm living certain prayers I used to pray. I'm living in a prayer that I used to pray years ago. We'll be discussing an opportunity that God gave me to learn more about myself and to learn about Him. So as an entrepreneur, I knew that I needed the space to work. I needed the space to be able to be creative, to build systems in my business, to market my business, to work inside my business for clients or customers. I just knew I needed more capacity than I was getting, and the more I needed it, the more my daughter was becoming demanding. She is no longer just that cute little chubby baby that just wants to sit around and be held and eat all day. She is now a teenager. If you ask me, my daughter is definitely a teenager. She's at this point where she just knows what she wants. She doesn't know how to articulate it, but she knows what she wants, and if she doesn't get it, it's gonna be a problem for her. So she is just growing and figuring out herself right now. But as much as I love seeing her be so bossy and just figuring out her emotions and just watching her grow, I also know that there's a certain type of life I want her to live. And I know that I have to work. I have to work. Her dad has to work. So we need that space in order to provide that life for her. So the girl got to go to daycare. I want to keep in mind, like, this is going to be like her second daycare that we've tried so far. The first daycare really doubled down on my fears of daycares in the first place. Wasn't right at all. The staff just wasn't treating my baby the way I wanted them to treat her. So I'm so blessed. Like, God opened doors for this new daycare that she's in because she loves it. So anywho, she went her first day, which was a Friday. So I didn't really get to feel how it feels to have 6 hours of my day to just work uninterrupted. Like I didn't really get to feel it for real for consecutive days. But the weeks leading up to her being able to go to daycare, me finally being able to work, like that was, I just felt super excited. I was looking, I was definitely looking forward to Eris going to daycare. I love my baby. I love being around her, but I need the space to be able to work as an entrepreneur. But right after her first day of daycare, the girl ended up getting sick. So that morning, I had already had planned a content session with a client, and I always try to make sure I'm there at least 30 minutes earlier than the client to make sure that they don't have to worry about anything. They just come in, everything's already set up, and they could just create content. In this day, this time, I had to get dropped off to this content creation session, and I ended up showing up late, which is not a big deal because it wasn't that late, but if you know what I'm trying to do, if you know how like serious I am about showing up on time, really putting my best effort into everything, then you would know that I was so irritated about being late. So now it's the end of the day, and mind you, I only really get 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted time a day when Eris is not at daycare to work. And that normally is around like 8 p.m. So when she goes to sleep, I'm really I love her, but I'm looking forward to that time of uninterrupted work time so I can make sure I'm staying on top of my clients and making sure that I'm staying on top of my business. And so because she's sick, of course, she threw up in her sleep, and I'm rocking her back to sleep. And it's taking so long. Like she's just not feeling good. So she's just uncomfortable. And I just remember thinking and feeling so overwhelmed, like, oh my goodness, if I don't get this work done, how far behind am I going to be? I'm going to be missing this deadline. I'm afraid that if I miss a deadline, something might happen with one of my clients. They might feel a certain type of way. And I just was super, like, I was worried about my business. I was irritated at the fact that I felt like I was behind. I'm going to stay behind. And everything just started hitting me at once. And I'm holding her and I'm patting her and I'm just like, you know what, Lord, just all of this worry about my business, who I'm going to be in life, what I'm going to be able to accomplish within these next couple months, everything that is really just making me feel super bad, super fearful, super anxious, super like worried, I'm going to just give it to you because I can't do this. Something's got to go. Something's really got to happen in this moment because I don't got time for distractions, and low-key, me feeling fearful, me feeling worried and anxious is going to distract me from actually doing the work. Like from actually showing up here and doing these conversations, from actually working with my clients, from actually being creative and being myself. It is a distraction when I'm scared or anxious or worried about something. So I decided, like, you know what? Go ahead and take it because it is what it is. I can't control nothing that's happening right now. All I could do is just do what I'm doing right here in this moment, which is take care of my daughter and love on her. And just like that, and I meant it. When I said I'm giving it up, I really was like, boop, I don't even care. I don't even care. And just like that, a peace came over me. And I started to realize as I'm holding her and loving on her and I'm just feeling so loved, is that I remember praying to God to grant me a child, and I looked forward to the moments of taking care of them and loving on them and holding them, and it just made me realize, like, wow, I'm living an answered prayer, and here I am being super ungrateful, super upset, when this is what I literally prayed for. I literally felt like it was deja vu when I was so young, and here I am living it and breathing it. As soon as I surrendered my fears and my worries to God, I was left with the opportunity to feel so grateful. So grateful for where I was in that moment in my life. Grateful at the fact that I was able to be upstairs with my daughter, the daughter that I prayed for, while she's sick, and just loving and nurturing and taking care of her. Stop. And just like that, my cup was filled. I was filled with so much joy. And I heard the message like, this is what I had to come on here and talk about. I had to share this message with you. I had to have this conversation with you because what fears and worries are holding you back? What's holding you back from being grateful for something that you prayed for and you're living in it and don't even know? What fears and worries are holding you back from seeing the greatness that's already in your life today? So what I want you to do, the next time you're worried or you're anxious or you feel like just fearful about anything, whether it's your job, whether it's family, it's your health, anything that you're worried about, just try giving that to God. And you will be surprised how clear his message is. It allowed me to be just so grateful for that moment with my daughter. It's a moment that I know that it's turned into a core moment with me and her. This isn't my first time giving something up to God, and this is not his first time taking it, but this is my first time I felt like he snatched it. Like immediately when I gave it up, immediately I started to feel grateful for where I was in that time in my life. My gratitude came so quickly. So that is basically the message today. Fear is like an infection. Worrying is like an infection. It really holds you back from getting to the places that you want to go in life. You can't even see what you should be doing next. You can't even focus on what is you're called to do in life because you're so scared, and it overwhelms your minds. It overwhelms like how you operate, your decisions in life. It just infects everything about you and your way of living and your well-being. So in order to see what's next for you, in order to get the things that you have been praying for, in order to realize you are living in answered prayers, you have to give up your fears. You have to give up your worries. Let it go. And realize you can only control what you are doing now. It is what it is. What's happening, things that are out of your control, it is what it is. You can't do nothing about it. But give it up. But let it go. And give it to God. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope that message came off the way that I intended it to. I'll be having my little notes over here because if you know me, when I have conversations, I could be everywhere. Like I'll take you everywhere. But I really want to make sure that I don't lose the message. I don't lose you. And we have such a productive and expanding conversation. So thank you so much for sticking it out if you stuck it out this long. And I cannot wait to have conversations with you next week. But we'll discuss much more. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me, and I will talk to you soon.